Hey, what's up, everybody? We're indoors. It's weird for a Views from Build episode to be indoors. Guys, I bought a house. So a long time ago, I bought the shop, and Kyle lives at the shop house, so he can be close to work. That's good enough excuse, right? Yep. Because he loves car parts in his living room. I mean, that's really what it is. Anyways, I have been renting a terrible townhouse in a terrible neighborhood for the last 10 years, and well, we finally thought it was time to buy a house to actually live in. And as you might be able to hear from the echo, we just bought it, and then I immediately left and went to Holly LS Fest. So Chelsea loves that. Anyways, today's episode, I'm going to be giving you guys a tour, giving these guys a tour. They haven't seen the house yet either. Walk, talk about some upgrades that I want to do, talk about some changes that we absolutely have to make, and try and test fit the Lamborghini. See if it'll actually be able to see. One of the big problems that I had with my last house is in a really bad neighborhood, but also there's like no driveway or garage or anything. So I couldn't park my Lamborghini at home, so I didn't get to drive it enough, and I don't think it's gonna fit in this one, so we may have to bust out the shovels or whatever. Anyways, stay tuned. Before we get down to the tour today, I want to talk about our sponsor for today's episode. Today's episode is sponsored by Simply Safe. It's how I protect my home. My homes and my shop and even Oscar's home, actually. And overall, it's just a really, really great product that we've all had a great use experience with, and we really like it. So if you don't know what it is, Simply Safe is an incredibly easy, reliable home security system that'll make sure that your home stays safe. If you've been at all worried about safety or your home safety and you've been putting it off, you do not have to put it off anymore. Simply Safe has a very quick and very simple, obviously why they named it, an easy solution to home security. You just order it online or over the phone. It'll get shipped right to your door. You can set it up yourself, and they say under an hour, but we're gonna do a time test. Should we do it right now, Oscar? Okay, we're gonna install Simply Safe in my brand new house right now, and we'll tell you how long it takes. All right, guys, we got the system installed. It only took 12 minutes to install. Granted, we have done this before. And from here, my house is monitored 24/7. If anything happens, they will make sure that the police get called. They've got a huge array of available sensors. They got everything from your standard door, motion sensors, glass break sensors, to freeze sensors, different temperature sensors, HD cameras, all sorts of good stuff. And it's really easy to use. You get around-the-clock protection for just 50 cents a day with no contracts required. So we don't have any furniture set up or anything, so everything's just on the floor, but you can see we got our base station here. It's glowing to let me know that it's on. Over here, we've got our camera looking back at us. Pretty snazzy, you can view it through the app. And we've got our keypad right here. Door entry sensors right there. Open the door. And you can see the alarm starts to go off. So we went through and tested all the sensors. Everything is working great. My home is secure, and now we know the monitoring center will call the police if it's alerted to anything. So guys, if you're in need of a security system for your home, office, garage, shop, anything that you need, Simply Safe is incredibly easy and effective. I highly recommend it. Hit that link in the top of the description or what you see on the screen here, simplysafe.com/B-is-for-build to learn more. Huge thanks to Simply Safe for sponsoring this episode. Now, let us show you around more than my living room. So I spent one evening in here. I posted it to Instagram, watched the UFC fights. I bought some cookies, and I brought a lawn chair from my front porch. So that's, you know, we got some stuff that were like painting supplies and stuff around here that we're working with, and our DIY tripod here of junk that we balanced together so I could set the camera on top of it. But yeah, this is the living room slash dining room. There's two bedrooms downstairs. There's one here and one here. The one thing that we really, well, two things that we really don't like. So these are old plaster walls, and you can kind of see the wrinkles where people painted a million coats over old wallpaper, and I really don't like the look of that. So I hope to be able to, nothing real super soon, but eventually rip all the laughing plaster out and re-drywall everything. After we drywalled our garage into a paint booth, I feel pretty confident that we can handle it. The floors have definitely taken a beating, but they are some really nice old wood. So these are either gonna be refinished or at least temporarily covered. I'd like to refinish them, but you guys will notice, I'll show you this home has about 5 different types of wood floor in it. Oh, and the thing that Chelsea hates the most is the ceilings. And the interesting thing is when you go from here, you see the ceilings kind of about that high above Kyle's head, and you go into here and you see ceilings are way, way bigger. That's how high the ceilings actually are in the house. They installed these like weird drop ceilings for no reason. We're not really sure why, but that's definitely gonna be a DIY that we get rid of all of those. Downstairs, right off of the living room, is a bedroom. Everything's on dimmer switches, which I hate, but this is like the small bedroom. I think Chelsea said this gets to be like my office, so hopefully office stuff through here, and maybe sim rig over here, and 3D printer in the closet, hoping it doesn't catch fire. That light makes an annoying sound. Dimmer switches suck. So in here is the second bedroom. So this is our second different version of wood floor. It does look like it's actual wood because somebody burnt the floor. There's some storage over here. This one's much bigger than the other one. And I think Chelsea's gonna use this as her office. And then our guest bedroom is gonna be right around here. That's the guest. Same ceiling problems. These ceilings need to be knocked out. So moving on over into the kitchen, we have our third different type of wood, and this has like a little bit of a jump up. So I'm not sure if this wood is going to be under here, but I'm definitely too scared to rip all of this up. I don't mind the kitchen. There's definitely some changes Chelsea wants to make. I got the fridge straight up stocked with just basically Truly, and that's all you need. It has a ice machine and water, which I've never had that before in my own home. In the homes my parents own, I had one growing up, but that's really cool. Gas stove is new for me, so I'm happy about that. Different color of wood on all the cabinetry coming through here, but this is just pretty standard. Yeah, I kind of like the rock backsplash, but Chelsea isn't vibing with it. I think that's her least favorite part. Honestly, we talk about so many different things in this house at different times. I forget what's good and what's bad. And then we got a thing to hang all your pots from up there, and there used to be like a island thing right here, but the previous owners were really cheap and didn't let us keep anything with the house or any of our money when we bought the house. Coming into here, there's kind of a funky downstairs bathroom. This guy, somebody that used to be a part of this house, built a bunch of iron, like steel stuff, rusted steel. It was like they gave not a good artist a plasma cutter, and they just went wild on all sorts of stuff. So this has to go, that's gonna go, a lot of this is gonna go. Really funky, like almost Aztec style flooring in here. It's really like built up and doesn't really match anything else.
What if the whole house has this?
No, because that's higher than the other room too. And then we have a clawfoot tub with the like shower wraparound, the shower thing. So Chelsea really likes the idea of having a big soaking tub or something. I don't know.
I was gonna say there's no curtain there.
There is no curtain there, so we'll need to work on that. Let's go to the poisonous basement next. So this is the basement space, and it is quite a lot of space with decently high ceilings in here. I don't know if any of these, that light sure doesn't look like it would work. The biggest problem with the basement is radon. So radon is like something that comes out of the soil underneath your foundation. It's toxic. It's a really high leading culprit for lung cancer. And this home radon tested like twice over the amount that you have to fix. So Oscar and I have been talking about doing our own little radon, what do they call that? Radon evacuation or something like that. What is that called? It's a radon mitigation system. You can buy the kits at home, or you can buy the kits and have them shipped to your home and plumb it out, or you can hire a service. The problem is the services are like backed up for months and months and months because everybody in Portland is buying houses. Yeah, it came with a really crappy little workbench down here, and they took the washer and dryer. I have no idea why. I guess they wanted it. But yeah, once I get the radon done in here, it has pretty uneven floors, and I don't have any creative solutions for that, so I don't know how easily used this space is, but I could really see it being good for virtual reality, doing my VR games down here, or other things, or maybe the sim racing rig down here, or just lots of storage. Yeah, we got these crazy large I-beams, and the guy that did them, here, shine a light on this, I want to show people. The guy that did them did not know how to weld. That's worse than Kyle did on his first try. Look at the welding on these I-beams. This is just crazy. I don't know why, the guy was saying he wasn't even really sure why these would have been put in, but.
I mean, this is illegal here.
Yeah. There's no support in the joint, yeah. I don't know, I guess they're replacing something that must have been wood before or something, but it passed the inspection. Did you find one that's only welded halfway around?
Yeah, it's not even welded on the top.
Oh, great. So I don't know what those beams are for, but you know, it didn't seem like a big deal when we got the inspection done. When I told you guys, I think in a couple videos back, I said, yeah, we bought a house, we did a bunch of inspections and everything went poorly. The radon test failed, so that's bad. The homeowner did not want to budge and give us any money for that. And also the sewer has a problem where kind of as it runs over here through the driveway, which I'll show you in a little bit, it kind of gets to a flat spot and it doesn't have enough downward angle. But I don't think that's a real problem because they've been Airbnb-ing out this place for the last 5 years and the sewer hasn't backed up yet. So I think we'll be okay. We just don't get to have a garbage disposal like Chelsea wanted. Until we rip up that driveway. Give me an excuse. So when we come up from the basement, we hit I forgot what number of different colors of wood floor we're on, like 4 or 5, 4. And that matches that landing. Then these stairs look to be, I don't know, somewhat the same. But we're going up to the master bedroom, which is by far my favorite part of this house. It's not tall person friendly, Kyle? Did you hit your head?
A couple times.
So up here, there's a lot of different things that need to be painted. You know, different color wood here. We're gonna paint these white. When you come into the bathroom, got bamboo flooring, so that gives us another type of wood flooring. And I kind of like these sinks. They're like fake cement sinks. But they look nice. I do not like the giant U of O mirror thing. I'm not sure what any of this is about, but I love the shower. The shower is a walk-in shower with the double heads. I've always wanted a house that did this, so I'm probably the most stoked about this overall than anything else. There's no double toilet. There's just a funky toilet, doesn't really match anything. Chelsea hates that thing. That's got to be changed too. I don't like this. I was thinking we build something out of steel or something to do that. I don't know. They threw a screw through it right here and it just cracked up the center. But yeah, easily fixable stuff. But what I really just love is the amount of space that we have in here. So we come into here and I mean, this is a just absolutely giant amount of space for a bedroom. A lot more than we need. So the wall mounted TV goes up here and this guy comes down so it can angle off the ceiling however you want. Big old closet for all of Chelsea's clothes. I feel like, let's see, there's lights for all this stuff. Yeah, so this is the closet for all of Chelsea's clothes, and then my clothes are gonna go in those little cupboards there, I think. But we had, the previous owner had a king size bed in here and it only filled up from like right there to like right there, which leaves basically a whole nother bedroom of space over here. It's a lot of room for activities.
Thank you.
So up here, I definitely like to get a little bit brighter lights because everything's like kind of dim and get everything off of the dimmer switches again. But this is probably my favorite room in the house. And I actually spend a lot of time in my bedroom. I do a lot of editing in my bedroom and a lot of other stuff like that. So having a sweet bedroom is gonna be really nice. When we come outside to the backyard, it's kind of like a pretty hippy dippy, really like, we have just a giant tree. There's a giant tree. The one nice thing though is like when it rains and stuff, like the rain doesn't hit here a lot. Just giant shade plants that I probably won't keep all of. Again, more just terrible metalwork. It's not a very large backyard, but I think it's enough for like a barbecue. Chelsea really wants a hot tub. Apparently somebody tried to pull permits to cut this entire tree down, and they said no. And we've got enough tree cutting problems of our own at the shop for now. We're just gonna leave this guy be. But anyways, walking over this way, this is my new garage, which I'm really happy about because I finally live at a house that has a garage. Let me show you this giant, ugly monstrosity. Like, look, what is this supposed to be? That's not art. Anyways, onto the garage. So this is the garage. Right now it's a 1-car garage. All the exterior colors of the house and the garage and stuff, we're gonna changing these up. But and this thing's basically falling down from the inside out. I've never even opened the door from that, but my inspector just showed me a bunch of pictures. It's got power run to it. It's got rodents in it, and it's got a bunch of dry rot and boards falling down. So I knew I was gonna be rebuilding this thing because I saw another house that I really liked, and what they did was they had garage with the traditional garage door here, and then over here they had a double bay sliding glass doors, so basically you could see your entire car from the backyard. So my game plan is kind of maybe hot tub / barbecue and then all glass on the side of the shop. Now this is how much we'd seen of the house before and I was like, okay, we can buy this house and like this will be good. And then I realized something else when we were getting the inspection is all of this part of the property over here going all the way over the fence, we actually own that too. So if you look at my driveway, I was like, oh, you know, it's got a driveway, which is looking really steep, and we got to test the Lambo on it. And I thought that this property, I thought this was the end of my property line right here. And then I actually realized that this tree right here and all this stuff coming sideways is all stuff that I own as well. So I can widen out my driveway going out that way, and I can also widen out that shop and get about double the shop space. So I can now get a 2-car garage shop in here when I do the rebuild. So the game plan is to tear this guy completely down, extend that slab over. I'm gonna have to pull permits, but extend the slab over, 2-car garage, and then be extending the driveway double wide so we can park cars side by side, because a single car driveway is kind of a pain. If you have 2 cars in it, you know, somebody's got to get out, you got to call them and tell them to get out. So like I said earlier, I was really stoked to get this house because I have my own driveway and I have my own garage, so I should be able to drive my Lamborghini. So we brought my Lamborghini here and we're gonna try and get it in the driveway. I don't think it's gonna make it. Let's give it a shot.
You'll let me when I know where I'm
Get on the Oscar.
getting close. And stop. That's seriously it. You can probably come a little closer. I just want to look underneath. Stop. Alright. You literally got like that much more. And it's touching. It's touching. Oh. Yeah, that's right on it. So you made it 12 inches? Oh, it's pushing forward.
Oh my god, it's so far away from the wheel even getting close.
Yeah. Dude. This is way worse than I thought. You're gonna need some ramps.
Dude, if I need ramps here, think how bad I'm gonna need ramps when I get to there. And then to get onto the flat. Well, that was a fail by every definition. I kept thinking, you know, this might be the hard part, coming up to this second piece and then going up that way, but it really, I mean, we'd have to be knocking out driveway from here, but then, you know, the sidewalk's at a set height. I can't knock out the sidewalk and make a driveway sidewalk. Oh, great, and now we block the neighbors. I don't know if this guy can get around. So yeah, I don't know if there's any way to fix this. We might be able to get a ramp to get through here, but then I don't know. Honestly, I think we're just gonna have to buy a different house. Well, that's a pretty big letdown for me. That was a large portion of the reason I really wanted to buy a house, is so I could drive a lot more of my nicer cars home and keep them, store them here. And you know, if this car's having problems, probably means all of our other low cars are gonna have problems too. So if anybody's got any ideas, let me know. What I'm gonna do is I'll just contact the city and ask them if I can just blaze that sidewalk over and make it like a sideways sidewalk so I can park my car or something. Like maybe more wheelchair accessible or something, because that's too steep for a wheelchair too, I believe. I think my lawyers would agree. But yeah, this is the new spot. We're gonna be, you know, furnishing this and stuff like that. But now now that Chelsea and I have a home that we're not wildly embarrassed about, you'll see a lot more filming from inside our home. And you know, I don't know, we don't do a lot of vloggy style stuff, but you know, if the moment hits, this is the new backdrop that you're seeing, is just our new house in Portland. You know, it's not as fancy as some of the other guys out there in like Texas or Florida, where like you literally get double the house for the money if you live in those states compared to Portland, Oregon. It was a very insane market. I had to give $50,000 over the asking price of the house just to get it, and then we got like basically ripped off on everything not passing inspection, you know, a toxic basement, sewer problems, and driveways that don't fit Lambos. So it's a competitive housing market out here, which is why we're building our shop on the other property, so we don't have to buy anything else. We're all done now. All right, guys, thanks for joining us today on this little walkthrough of my new house. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be back to work in the next episode. Appreciate you guys. Head over to beastforbuild.com if you want to get a t-shirt and support my new driveway fund. I'll see you soon. Peace!